Welcome to Path Studio, where we talk to people from different paths of life, whether they're an artist, influencer, entrepreneur, developer, or designer. Let's get to know the story of their path. My name is Arturo Montiel, CEO of Path Studio, and I'm joined here today with She Coast ambassador and social media influencer, Andrea Dubuc.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So for the people that don't know you, do you mind like introducing yourself or?
Yeah, so my name is Andrea Dubuc. I'm based in Ontario, Canada. Um, I work for the Canadian government as a performance management analyst. So my job is nothing to do in tech. But last year, I decided to start learning to code with She Codes, which is a boot camp that's mainly for women. And last year, while I started learning to code with She Codes, I also decided to start my Instagram page as well, just for fun and just to document my journey learning to code. And yeah, since then it has evolved to be many things. I post about productivity sometimes, about my life working from home, and I also post a little bit about my coding and my journey with She Codes.
Oh wow, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That so in the very beginning, you said that you work for the Canadian government.
Yes.
That is like the complete opposite of what anyone would expect whenever, because on your social media, you're very, very heavy on coding, very heavy on She Codes. Amazing platform and community, by the way.
Thank you.
Um, so like how did that come about? Like how did you start to get into the Canadian government? And then from there, how'd you get into tech?
Yeah, so honestly, so my dad is a diplomat and I grew up abroad. I grew up between Ecuador, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. And my
Oh
parents,
wow.
yeah, my parents are still cross-posting. They're in Turkey right now.
Oh
And
no way.
yeah,
I have a best friend in Turkey.
no way.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. They just moved there, so I haven't had the opportunity to go visit yet. So we're planning to do that next year. But yeah, so basically, I saw my dad working for the same department where I work, which is called Global Affairs Canada, and Global Affairs is where most of the embassies are based from. Basically, all of the ambassadors and diplomats come from Global Affairs Canada. So I also kind of wanted to follow my dad's footsteps, and I also wanted to become a diplomat. So after I graduated high school, my parents actually asked me if I wanted to continue traveling with them and maybe seeing if I could like continue to go to school while living abroad with them. But I
Mhm.
decided to just stay in Canada and continue my studies here. So I decided to get into social sciences and public administration. So I graduated with that degree. And then I started working at Global Affairs Canada, where I am now. And my hope has always been to eventually become a diplomat. So I'm trying. Um,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, so I would love to do that. I really loved growing abroad, like growing up abroad and like meeting people from all over. So that was my original goal. It still is. But then last year, I think a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, I think a
Mm.
lot of people decided to learn something new. I don't know, like I felt
Yeah.
like there was nothing else to do, but
Right.
yeah,
You could stay at home, look at the pantry all day, or you could do something else.
yeah, yeah. So, coding has always been something that intrigued me, and I would see like ads for She Codes all the time. And then one day I just decided to try it out, and yeah, it's just been so exciting, and it kind of makes me regret not getting into computer science instead. Um,
Mm,
but I think it's never too late to learn. So that's something I
right.
always say, and that's why I'm doing it now.
That's awesome. Wow. Look at you. That's actually like very, very admirable. You took that jump, especially coming from like a place like, from a job background where I'm assuming there wasn't as much coding in the in
Oh,
yeah. So it's like that's insane. That's such an awesome thing to do. How was your experience with learning to code? Like how are those like first couple steps with sheet codes and stuff like that?
oh, She Codes is great. I really love that they really help you out. So, you start learning basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you do your first project. And when I did my first project, I was so impressed. I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe I was actually able to do something like that. So that inspired me to continue with the workshops and then continue learning more advanced JavaScript. Then they teach you React, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working on building my responsive website, like my portfolio website, where I'm
Hmm.
going to post all of my projects. And Um, it's been great. I mean, what I love is that they have like tech support. So if you're ever stuck in a like if you're ever stuck somewhere, you can always ask for help, and there's somebody who's going to help you right away. So you don't always have to rely on figuring out yourself. Although in general you should, but you know you have somebody helping you out as well.
Right. That's
Yeah,
actually really nice though. At least you have someone that if Stack Overflow or Google doesn't show you,
yeah.
you have someone. And like, are you building? Did you start off with React? Because on your social media, I'm pretty sure it was React, and then you got into responsive.
Yeah, exactly. So it goes like that. Like, yeah, you start with just basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you jump into more advanced JavaScript and React. Because, like, to be honest, in order to really be successful with React, you need to have a solid foundation of JavaScript,
Okay, okay.
which I'm still struggling with. JavaScript is a little tough, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So yeah, we did a few projects. I did dictionary app, which was really cool to do with React, and also our um, weather app as well, which it's a great project if you want to know how to use APIs and all that stuff. But in general, I've noticed that specifically weather apps are kind of saturated. So I
Mm,
think I'm gonna try to do something else to showcase my skills with React later on.
right. And do you like React? Because there's a lot of people that have mixed opinions with React and all the other frameworks.
You know, I don't know a lot of other frameworks other than React, so I can't really say, I can't really compare, but I really love how in compare, like, because I did my weather app using just vanilla JavaScript, and it was like my code is so disorganized, it's like all over the place. It works, but obviously it could be better. And I then decided, so then part of the projects that we needed to do is do the same weather app using React. And the difference
Um,
is incredible. It's just your code is just more organized because it's all organized in components. It's just more efficient. Like I said, it's organized. I don't know why people don't like it. I mean, it works really well. So
yeah, yeah. No, like I was trying Flutter for a bit because I was like, okay, well, React, I don't get this whole component thing.
yeah.
But and I was just so confused by it. But then Flutter was also a component based language. So I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, let me just jump back to React because if I understood with Flutter, I could probably understand it. And it clicked. But I'm gonna sound like a psychopath saying this, but I still prefer some parts to be vanilla JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because it's more fun. Like with React, everything's kind of like handed to you. But I
Oh, I see what
to
you're saying.
to a
Yeah.
degree, to a degree. I
Yeah.
say that with like the biggest grain of salt, but it's fun. Also, the name's super cool. React.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but with Flutter,
Have you
well,
tried it?
no, but I know that at some point I also kind of wanted to get into Swift, and I don't know. I just wait. I want to make sure I'm talking about the same thing. The Flutter is to create Android and iOS apps,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Okay,
as well as like web apps as well.
so web apps. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. No, I was interested in Swift, but a lot of people have mixed opinions too, and some people were saying you should learn Flutter instead of Swift, and I was like, oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't yet, but yeah.
that's all. Yeah, because you were telling me you wanted to get into app development.
Yeah, I want to do too many things, and I'm like, I want to do everything, and I just don't have the time. But yeah, it's just
Yeah, how do you manage your time? Like on top of, I'm assuming it's a full-time job with the Canadian government.
yeah.
On top of trying to become a diplomat with social media, with learning to code, it's a lot. Like how do you personally balance that? Or if
It's been tough, and honestly, I feel a little burnt out. And honestly, this is
mm,
why I haven't posted since last Monday. I've been like so tired, and I think that like content creation, oh my gosh, it takes a lot of work. It's just
right?
the editing, the filming, like looking decent as well.
And it's
I'm
and it's like a 30-second video.
exactly. Oh my gosh, exactly. So yeah, I'm constantly tired, and I think in a way I'm like, wow, is this like I guess being an adult is just being constantly tired. But I try to do my workshop during lunchtime when I can. I have an hour for lunch, and when I can, I try to use that time, because otherwise after work I feel like I'm mentally exhausted from
Right.
my job, and then it's just hard for me to focus on learning to code. So I try to do it at lunchtime, minimum 1 hour a day or 30 minutes a day. I know 30 minutes is not a lot, but at least it's something. So I try to push myself when I can. And then after work, if I can as well, I try to dedicate a little bit of time to continuing with my website and yeah, and then content creation. I don't have a plan. I think I should do what a lot of people tell me to do, which is to batch content, like one day a week, like maybe on a Sunday, work on multiple videos that you can eventually like roll out. But I haven't done
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, especially since because you actually have a bigger following than I do personally. And like the community that you have is super supportive. I've seen the comments, everyone's super nice. Everyone's also like a big nerd, which I love. I love when people like just have the ability to geek out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But going through that burnout, it's tough because like you see everybody else doing it, and I don't know if you're one to compare yourself to others, but there's always like the temptation to do that. And so like you see like your friends that have like 30 plus K or
Yeah.
30K plus followers, and they're doing everything 10 times more than you are. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not cut out for it. Like, have you struggled with something like that in
Oh
the
my
process?
gosh, all the time, all the time. And there's one thing that a lot of content creators tell me, it's really all about consistency.
Mm,
And right now, everybody's talking about Reels, as you know, is the way to grow, at least on Instagram. I'm not so much on TikTok. I just
right.
don't have the time. Like I wanted to do it as well, but I like you can't even find the same song. Like it's so hard for me to find the same
It's so
song.
annoying, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm primarily on TikTok than I am on Instagram. And
yeah,
so when I'm like trying to like I'll take like this song from TikTok and I'll just post it there and it's like copyright. I'm like,
yes. It's so annoying.
okay.
I know. So yeah, so I've been focusing mostly on Reels right now because apparently that's the way to grow. And everybody I talk to that's bigger than me, their one like advice is be consistent, post every day, because one of those videos is gonna go viral. And that's how I grew. Like somebody told me from one video I grew 10K. I was like, really? I was like crazy. And you know what? A lot of people have amazing content. And it's what's sad is that they're just not getting discovered, because as soon as people realize that they're out there, I think that's how they'll grow. It's just, it's not really that people don't have good content or they're not good at content creation. It's just that people don't know you exist. And that's why like once your video goes viral, like I think that's what it takes to just people knowing about your account. And so yeah, I used to compare myself. I think that's human, we all do that.
Mm.
But I just realized that I can only do so much with the time I have. I'm not gonna kill myself. I can already do that. So I was trying to challenge myself and post every day, but it's been tough. So I think I'm just gonna, you don't need to post every day to be consistent. Somebody told me maybe you can just post 3 times a week, keep it 3 times a week, and then see what happens with that. It doesn't have to be every day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Because like you're also facing many factors you have no control over, like the algorithm, what's trending, hashtags aren't working as much as anymore because they're oversaturated or
Yeah.
whatever, like what have you. It's just like all these little tiny things. And then you keep hearing people say like post 4 times a day, post 4 times a day. And like,
Oh my God. Yeah. But like I know, for like I've seen that too, like post 3 to 4 times a day. I'm like, what? I can't even post one video every day.
I'm like, these are 30-second videos, but they take like minimum 30 minutes. And you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. At least for me right now, it takes minimum like 30 minutes. There's some people that do like in 10 seconds, 10 minutes. I'm kind of jealous.
Me too. Me too. And it's also about finding what to post. I mean, I want to be creative, but at the same time, I don't know what it is, but I see a lot of people, for example, saying like posting uh, 5 JavaScript beginner projects, whatever. Everybody has done that. And sometimes I want to do that too, but then I feel, am I just copying somebody else's idea? Like, I don't know anymore, like what else I could post about. But somebody told me it's just about posting the same thing that worked for somebody else with your own twist, with your own personality, with your own editing. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, maybe I could do that too. But yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I get you on so many levels. Whenever you said that, like you feel like you're copying somebody. Cause like
Yeah.
you do, because I mean you are copying somebody, but it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
different because it's Andrea codes and it's not XYZ.
Yeah.
But you can't take that feeling away. Like I actually, so on TikTok, I made a friend. His name is Luis. He'll be on the podcast very soon, next week.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Okay.
yes, very excited for him to be on the pod. But So he and I, we started TikTok relatively around the same. He was a little bit ahead of me. Um, and he would do his content was different. His content was more like, I'm gonna record a video myself just talking, whatever not. And then mine was like, I'm gonna make little tiny 15-second videos about
Yeah.
something, educate, whatever.
Yeah.
Eventually I saw that his stuff was working a little bit better than mine. So I tried to do his thing, started working the same for me. And I kind of felt like I was copying him.
Yeah.
It kind of felt crappy, but it kind of felt good at the same
Yeah.
time. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but it's also TikTok. Everyone comments each other on TikTok. Instagram, it's a little bit different, where from what I've seen, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or if you experience something else, but like from what I've seen on Instagram, it's that if you're a coding, for example, you're a JavaScript Instagrammer,
Yeah.
then you need to have like the 5 JavaScript libraries, the top 5 JavaScript projects, all the commonalities.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, but I don't want to copy, but you have to. Welcome to social media, people. Welcome to social media. But it's not tough though. Like people, okay. So making videos is one thing, balancing jobs is another thing. But you touched about being like burnt out. Like what what was that process like of being burnt out? Like how did you feel? If you want to get into that kind of thing, because it is a
Yeah.
cool thing to talk about.
Well, I didn't know that I was getting burnt out. That's the thing. Like, I don't think sometimes you don't realize it.
Right.
It's like creativity gone, motivation gone. Like, I think, like, I'm like really like, I know, and to be honest, I have a few collaborations with other content creators, which I love doing, but I haven't filmed for it yet. And I feel bad. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need to get to doing that as well. It's just the motivation is what I've noticed that really went down. And I think that's part of getting burnt out is that you just don't have the motivation to do anything, which is kind of, that's the dangerous thing about it.
Yeah.
So and yeah, my creativity, I just feel like, yeah, I don't know what to post and mainly that. So I decided I'm going to take this week and then next week I'm going to start posting again. I have a couple of ideas and then I have a couple of collaborations. So I'm just going to continue to do it, but I may not do it every day like I was trying to do last time. So just gonna do 3 times a week, see how that goes, and see if
Yeah.
that's something I can keep up with.
That's awesome. So if someone is experiencing burnt out, like is experiencing that. So would you like suggest for them to like kind of just go like their own pace?
Yeah, I think what I was trying to do is that my mindset changed to growing. It shouldn't be about that. First of all, I had to remind myself why I started my page. It was never to become an influencer. That's just so cool on the side. I didn't realize I could be making some money doing that. That's great, but that was never my intention. And so I thought about it and I was like, okay, I just started this for fun. I'm gonna continue to look at it that way because it's not necessarily about growing. I think everybody wants to, but if I focus so hard on growing, I think that's the issue. So I'm just going to continue to be consistent and do what I like and post what I like, but for fun because I enjoy it and not with the goal of growing. And then if you grow, that's great. And if you don't, well, I don't know. but I think, yeah, it's just really about changing your mindset. But I know that if you really want to grow, you do have to be consistent. I don't know. I don't have very good advice. I would just say maybe do what you think is possible for yourself and not try to do what somebody else is doing, like posting every day. It's not possible for everybody. Not everybody has a 9-to-5 job. Not everybody, some people have kids. I don't even know how they do it with kids. So
neither do I.
Yeah. So I think you just have to see what works for you. And that's it.
Wow. That's awesome advice. I do like how you touched upon how you had to remember like what was the original reason for you starting your social media, and it wasn't for to grow, it wasn't to become an influencer, it was simply to just document, show that you're having fun, show that anyone can learn it. And
It really was. It's just crazy then how it grew. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah. And like did you notice your growth, or was it just like, oh, that's cool, people are People liking this? Like,
Well, to be honest, yes. In my personal like Instagram, I don't think I would ever get like 100 likes. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. So when I started this page, I would see that my posts were getting over 100 likes. And of course I noticed like, oh wow, people like a picture of my desk. That's awesome. So
you do have a cool desk though. You do.
thanks. I didn't realize that was a thing because like at the beginning, a lot of my posts before the algorithm changed, my posts, me like holding a mug has like 30,000 likes. And I'm just like, how, why, you know? Um, so yeah, I was shocked by how many people liked my stuff and how I was getting more followers than on my own personal account. And so it was exciting and I was happy for it. But yeah, but I didn't know about that you could become an influencer with having very little followers. Like I see people with like 1,000, 2,000 followers getting sponsored posts and partnerships. And I didn't know about that world at all. So to me, this was just a surprise. I was like, wow, I can do something I like for fun and make some money on the side. That's great. But it wasn't my goal. But now that I have this, I do like it. It's fun. I mean, I can see how people who have like millions of followers can become like millionaires and have a lot of money from doing this.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
it's definitely a different world. I'm not gonna disclose who, but I do have a friend on social media.
Yeah.
They were able to make significant amount of income where they retired like their family. Like I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow, like, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
I told my mom about it and I was like, nah, I don't believe it. I'm like, no. It's true though. Like my goal isn't to become a social media influencer. My goal is in the future, like way 50 years, to just like help people. And I'm not gonna get too into it because it's an interview for you. But like my mom was like, I hope your dream isn't to become a social media influencer. And I'm just like, wait a minute, what if it was, mom? Like you're not gonna love me for becoming a social media influencer? And she said, no, it's just because I don't want to be in the spotlight. And
Oh,
so with you like being in social media and you becoming like, I would say a significant influencer, because there's a lot of people that go to your Instagram for sheet codes, which is a big freaking community. And also like the
yeah.
super sick desks. Like, how is it being in a spotlight? Has it affected your personal life in that way? Or
Oh no, no. I mean, I I feel like such a regular person and it hasn't really done, it's not like, you know, yeah, it's not like I'm recognizable outside or anything. It has not affected my personal life at all. I don't think I can be that big, to be honest. But yeah, it's just no, it hasn't really changed anything. It's only made me more inspired to make my desk nicer for myself and then to share it. But you know, yeah, I was just like, wow, I didn't think that people would really appreciate my desk. But yeah, it started very humbly with just my laptop. That's how I started to code, and then slowly I started to like add more stuff to it, and now I love it. And I work from home, so I like to make this area my happy space.
oh, that's awesome. How is it working from home?
It's been great. I love it. Like I love rolling out of bed and just coming to my desk, and it's been great. But now they're forcing us to go once a week, which is important.
Uh
Yeah, they're forcing us to go once a week. It doesn't really make sense. Nobody's happy about it. And to be honest, a lot of people moved really far away because of the pandemic. They decided to just like stop living in the city. They moved far away. So now for them coming to work is very inconvenient. Some people are like 2, 3 hours away.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. And me personally, I used to live 15 minutes away in an apartment. I moved to a house kind of far away as well. So it takes me an hour and a half to go to work now. So I'm not excited.
An hour
Yeah.
and a half?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't drive. I just take the bus. So the buses and everything is just an hour and a half.
Oh my goodness. No, I cannot. Like, I love driving, but I could not drive an hour and a half. Mm.
Yeah. It's too far. Yeah.
Well, okay. So like while you're at home with like your happy desk, what's your favorite item on your desk if you had to choose?
Probably my Dito Plus. You've probably seen it.
Yeah, it's such a cute little thing.
so cute, and it has a little pixel art, and I can also play music from it. It's just cute to look at. Every time I see it, I'm just like, I'm in love with it. Basically that one, yeah. And yeah, honestly, well, I also like, I'm not into crystals that much. I just like them for decoration. But I like have like a few little crystals around, and yeah, that's it. Nothing that cool, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you like your desk videos got me to buy the Kirby
Oh,
mouse.
oh my gosh, it's my favorite mouse. And
It's so nice.
it's so nice, to be honest. Honestly, though, the reason why I got it is because I was suffering from like extreme wrist pain. Like I don't know what it is, but if I have those regular mouses and I do this motion all the time, my tendons just, I don't know what happened. It just started to hurt. And I had like an ergonomic assessment, and she said I need a vertical mouse.
Oh
And
my
since then,
gosh.
it's changed my life. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, whenever you said tendons, like I know exactly what you're talking about because my tendons, they go through the same thing. I used to be it's gonna sound so nerdy, but I used to actually be a clan leader for a video game,
Oh, cool.
like
Okay.
for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I eventually developed like some tendonitis.
Yes.
So like just clicking or like being like this while typing, it was just terrible. So I got the curvy mouse, which is what I call it. And then I got the keyboard that goes with it.
Oh, great. Okay, I haven't tried that one. How do
Best
you
thing
like it?
ever. It's the
Oh,
best
yeah.
thing ever. Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
good to
It's
know.
a little bit big. Like, so I have a MacBook Pro 13-inch,
Yeah.
and I love the size of the keyboard because it's super small. This is like an 18-inch keyboard.
Oh,
So
wow. That is
yeah,
big. Wow.
you have the Keychron, right?
Yes, I have my Keychron and I love it, but it's kind of high, it's not low
Mm-hmm.
profile. And I have to have a really good rest, what was it called? Those wrist rests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
wrist rest.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Otherwise, it's just the worst to be like this, like a T-Rex.
Yeah, you're like,
Yes, exactly.
I get exactly what you're talking about because I got the Keychron K2 V2 because my friend was like, well, you don't have to get an ergonomic keyboard. You can just get a mechanical one, but like uh, get switches that are easier to press through.
Yes, that's a good point.
Did that, didn't like it. I
Oh,
actually don't like mechanical keyboards. I think they're pretty,
yeah,
absolutely gorgeous. You should get one if you like it.
yeah,
But I love the size of it. So when I got this thing, this
yeah,
like unnecessary number pad was just so lame to me.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, who uses that? Because now
yeah.
also like the mouse is normally here, but now it's all the way out here, and I have to go like
Yes,
that.
that's the only thing.
That's my one complaint. That's it.
No, but it's so true, to be honest. With my mechanical keyboard, I noticed that I didn't type as fast as with a regular low profile, like a regular non-mechanical keyboard. Oh my gosh, it's crazy how much faster you can type with,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, it is pretty, but it's not very ergonomic. It depends. If it's low profile, yeah, but if not, they're not ergonomic. So.
Would you get because there are low profile mechanical keyboards. Would you get one or
Yes, I was thinking about it because I really love the brand Keychron, and I know they have, I think the K3 is very low profile, and that
mm,
I was very intrigued by it. Maybe at some point, but right now I have this one. It's by Hex Gears. It's a mechanical keyboard, but I don't know why this one actually works really well.
it's
And
pretty. What the heck?
yeah, I love the way it sounds too. It's so clicky. Um, so far so good. So yeah.
Have you seen those channels or like or accounts where it's all about keyboards and they post like the most satisfying sounds of all time?
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but I do follow one that's all about cute keyboards. So they're cute, like they're like kawaii and like mechanical and
Oh,
just.
that's awesome.
So yeah.
I have looked into those because when I got my mechanical keyboard, my friends, one of them was like, "Oh my goodness, my sister wants to get into mechanical keyboards. Like, you should look into like cute ones for her." And
Yeah.
it's a totally different sector of mechanical keyboards. There's like little toys you can put on your keycaps.
I know. Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of want to get one.
Yeah. It's so cute.
Like they're awesome. Actually today I'm getting a what's it called? I'm getting a Microsoft Kirby keyboard. It's
Oh
coming in
yeah.
today. Yeah,
Okay.
because it doesn't come with the number pad.
Okay.
So it's smaller.
But is it the same like
Mhm.
oh cool. Oh, perfect then.
So like
So
I'm trying it out.
yeah.
Gonna see how it is because I tried a different one from like Germany. It was okay.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay. But it's like $50 compared to 140, which is how much this one costs in the
Oh
US.
wow. Big difference.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how much it is in Canadian, but
Yeah.
what is it, like 150K CAD? I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that. Don't ask me about math.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I'm like, oh my goodness. But for me though, like I don't mind spending money for like ergonomic or anything like that. Whenever you were building up like your desk setup, did you have like ergonomics in mind or like how was that?
Oh, yeah, actually. So I was so at the beginning of the pandemic, I was working from like my dining table, just a laptop. I had like my setup was terrible for work actually. So I developed extreme neck pain. Apparently, I pinched a nerve or something. It was
Oh,
yeah. I had tendonitis on both of my arms. I thought I was going through some sort of like weird autoimmune disorder or something because like both of my hands were like almost paralyzed and I was in
oh
so
my
much
gosh.
pain. Yeah.
Are you better now?
I am better now, but I really thought I had like rheumatoid arthritis. Like I went through like a dark hole. So I was
You
like,
went through Google. You went through
yeah,
self-diagnosing.
yeah, exactly. And so like I couldn't move my arms. I was in so much pain. I was crying. It was horrible. So I had to go to physio for about 2 months. And now it's fine, and it was just because of my posture. So I
Wow.
was like overextending my neck. I basically became a T-Rex. So I was like this. And that was exactly the worst thing you can do for yourself. So now I try to be more mindful. And so yes, after that I make sure I have a screen. I make sure I have a good keyboard. Well, at the time it was the Keychron, which with the wrist rest it was great, but then yeah, I don't know, it's not the best now, but yeah, overall, I had to change my setup. Now I have like a sit stand desk and all of that. So
And how do you like the standing desks? The standing desks are amazing.
I love it. I think it's so important to stand up. And at work, when I used to have my workspace at work, it was very ergonomic. I had my two screens. It was a standing desk, and I think it's very important to stand up at least half of the day and the rest sitting down. Everybody talks about the benefits of standing, not
Yeah.
sitting all day, and for circulation and all of that. So I totally agree.
Yeah, I think it's like you're supposed to do 1-to-1. So if you stand for 30 minutes, you sit for 30 minutes. Or if
Yeah.
it's like you stand an hour, you sit an hour.
Yeah, something like that. I do it. I just stand up mostly like from 7 to noon. And then after lunch, I sit down. I could do like what you're saying, 1 hour here, 1 hour there, but
I mean,
I just do.
you're technically doing it. I mean, you're technically doing 101.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has their own system. You can do it however you want. I have a sprained ankle right now, so I'm unfortunately only having to sit,
Oh, no, that's unfortunate.
which is ironic because I actually don't like sitting. I don't like in high school I would take my test like standing.
Oh, is that possible?
Yeah, with like enough like nagging to your teachers, like,
Okay.
hey, professor,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Eventually they allow me to. Sometimes I had to like stand and do like a clipboard kind of thing, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I looked quite weird in class, but I didn't care for it.
You
So
did
like,
good.
yeah, so like, I mean, when the pandemic hit, I was like, "Ah, I can't sit, I can't do this. So I
Yeah,
tried finding different ways. My posture was terrible. I got a standing desk, but they're freaking expensive.
they are.
Like, it's just a piece of wood with like motors on the bottom, and
Yeah.
it's like a good $1,000. Like,
Yes. Well, mine was provided to me by by work, but this company that they were so kind to give me this like arm for my monitor. They also have standing desks, and they are in the $300 to $400 US range,
oh,
and
that's
they're
nice.
pretty good. Yeah, I know some are like $1,000, but there are good desks that are like in that $300 range. So
Yeah. There's some on Amazon that I saw that are really nice.
yeah.
With getting a standing desk and getting into that, did you get into like into like this like Pinterest black hole of looking at desk setups and everything like that? Because on your Instagram, you put in your bio that you're a desk-agram. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I was thinking, I was trying to figure out what like my niche is, and I was like, okay, I post a lot of like desk pictures, so I decided to write that. But no, actually, I haven't really gone into Pinterest that much. No. Yeah.
I I will warn you. I like it's like a do it but a don't do it
Yeah.
because it's a big never-ending black hole. Like you will look through thousands of posts, buy so many unnecessary things.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I should. I don't know why. I sometimes go on Pinterest, but I don't use it as much as other social media out there. I don't know why. I should though. Yeah.
Is it a social media?
Is it? I thought it was like,
I I don't
well,
know.
I guess, well, yeah, people can comment, right? Oh, I don't know.
I
Oh
think
my
they
God.
can. I have
Yeah.
no idea. I just look like I'm like like Pinterest. I purely use for inspiration. But if it's like an actual social media thing, I might have to get onto it.
Well, somebody told me I should post my pictures, my desk pictures on Pinterest, and then you can link it to your Instagram, and that's another way to grow, supposedly. But I haven't done it. But yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. That's awesome. How did you even start? Like when you saw that your social media was picking up traction, what are some things that you did to grow it?
um, yeah, I was, so I did, like I said, I didn't have a plan to actually grow. It was, honestly, I have to say, it was the algorithm was on my side when I started my account, which was last April. At
Mm,
the time, I don't know, the algorithm was different because like my pictures, which in my opinion weren't even that cool. Like if you go back and you'll see some of my photos that have like 30K or like 10K, and I'm just like kind of perplexed as to why. I would post it. I would put some hashtags related to like desk inspiration, I don't know, like mechanical keyboard, like all those like hashtags, and it just exploded. And I would look at the and the stats, the analytics. I don't know what's it called.
mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
analytics.
the analytics, and I saw that from like a post that a picture of my desk that I posted, I gained 3,000 followers like from one photo.
What the heck?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly. So I don't have like a secret or anything. It just happened like that, and it just kept growing. And I think, like I said, it's about getting discovered, I think, honestly, because I feel like once you're discovered is, I don't know, it's just like I see so many accounts that are so amazing and I wish more people knew about them, and they're doing everything right, and it's just that the algorithm isn't pushing their content. So a lot of my photos would end up in the explore page. I have no idea how, like they just would be on the explore page, and that's how I would get discovered. And yeah.
Mm. Well, that's
but
awesome.
but then in February of this year, the algorithm changed completely. Like all of a sudden, everything went downhill. So before I used to get thousands of likes. Now it's just like on average, like 500 to 600. But like I saw a huge difference. And
Mm.
so, and they keep making changes to the UI. Like every day I look at Instagram,
Yeah.
there's a new change. I'm like, oh my goodness, so annoying.
I thought it was a glitch the other day, but whenever like you follow someone, it says following, but like with a gray box behind it.
Yeah,
And I was
okay.
like, okay, cool. There was like an outline before,
Yeah.
and I was just like, guys, can we just stop making changes? Like, there's too many changes. You guys, they want to be like TikTok way too badly. I'm like, just stop. You guys are
They
Instagram.
really do. Honestly, it's kind of annoying that they want to do that, but I guess they have to compete because TikTok is really taking, like, it's huge. TikTok is like completely.
Yeah, it's grabbing, it's great at grabbing people's attention. But I loved Instagram for the fact that it was just like pictures and then every now and then a video. But now it's just purely videos. And then when you go to your explore or like not your like not the home button, whatever it is, like your discover page,
Yeah.
it's just photos.
Oh, it's
So
oh, oh.
I'm like, okay, I just want to see photos. Is there a way to change that? So if there's an Instagram person listening here, please make it to where you can change because this is insane.
Yeah, it's sad. Mm.
No, no, go ahead.
Sorry,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sorry. No, go ahead. You had.
Oh no, no, no. I was just gonna say it's sad because like that's what I liked about Instagram. That it was about photos and videos, not just videos. But now that's really what they're pushing, and that's what they're saying that that's the way to grow is by posting more reels. So
Yeah,
uh,
reels and reels and reels and reels. Oh my god. I already
Yeah.
did with TikTok. Like it's awesome though. Like I'm super like I believe that all social media, anybody on social media that's trying to grow, like they're all very grateful for the algorithm and very grateful for like the opportunity to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But man, I don't like to take just like a nice picture because I used to be a photographer. And so like just posting pictures on Instagram is like my favorite thing. People commenting, people saying, like, "Oh my goodness, like your art's so nice." But now it's just cool. Scroll, 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 scroll. Like no one's paying attention.
Yeah, you're right. But do you have like a specific Instagram page dedicated to your photography or?
I used to. We actually so way back when I was like in the ninth or 10th grade, there was like a group of this is gonna sound so lame, but there was like a group of like kids my age. We were like aged between 14 to 17 years old. And we all shared this account called Young Generation. And we got it to like 3,000, 4,000 followers like in a month. Like just
Yeah.
from starting, like we 0 to 4,000. We would take turns like posting our pictures. We used to have that. I used to have that, but then
Yeah.
I stopped. Now I just put everything on my Visco.
Oh, cool. Okay, Visco. Yeah.
Yeah, but Visco, I don't know if anybody can make money on Visco. I just post stuff there because it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a Visco or?
No, I know about it. I used to use, so first of all, I used to use the app to edit my photos, but I didn't realize that there was like a community of people who actually posted their pictures there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just, yeah.
No, neither. I didn't know that it was like a thing. Like I didn't know. Like in high school, like it was more popular amongst the girls.
Yeah.
So it was actually my classmate of mine. She showed me Visco. She was like, "Hey, if you want to edit your pictures, you should try out this app." And I was like, "Okay, try it out." And then I see like so many different artists coming on my page. I'm like, "Those are my pictures. These are other people's." And then from there, like they have like their own Instagram, their own business. And it was honestly insane. It's a big old loophole.
Cool.
But like with that being said, though, is there a social media that you prefer? Like out of all the social medias?
Mm, honestly, I just like Instagram. Like, I mean, what I was using before was mainly Facebook, and Facebook is just dying. It's dead basically. It's already dead. It's just so I spent like I have no time there. I'm actually thinking about deleting it. So yeah, no, I mean, I like TikTok. It's just that I like to maybe just consume. I just love to go on, like I could spend hours scrolling and watching videos, but I haven't posted much, like I said, because I just find
Mm.
it so consuming for me to post my video there. So, but yeah, I mean, I really love Instagram. It's just that they're making too many changes right now, and it's getting kind of annoying, like to the point that things don't work. Like all of a sudden I couldn't react anymore to messages. I couldn't, like, they keep making changes, and I keep submitting like how you can like when you go on help and you can submit something isn't working right for them to fix it.
Hmm.
Well, I keep doing that, but I don't know if anybody's seeing it. They have no customer support or anything, so
Oh
it's, yeah.
man. I for me, like things have been working quite smoothly on Instagram,
Oh
but nothing
yeah.
to that extent. Like I feel sorry.
Yeah, no, nothing is working correctly. Like it's crazy. Like sometimes I would be commenting on somebody's post,
Mhm.
and I can't even see what I'm commenting. Like it's like kind of like the issue with the email, like where I couldn't see the text. Is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't know when they'll fix it, but it's really annoying. And sometimes I like something and Eden likes it, and then I try to like it again and Eden likes it. I'm
Oh,
just
okay. That happened to me the other day with my cousin's girlfriend. I liked her post and I commented and then I went like my whole thing refreshed and it wasn't there. And I was like, hey now,
yeah.
I will like and comment again. I just hope it doesn't look like I double liked and double commented.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My goodness. Whenever you started with She Codes, did you know that they had like a big social media presence and like if you were to join their community? Because like they push out like all their students. They're like, yeah, follow Andrea, follow Millie.
I know they're amazing. I love the community, and the CEO Matt, he's great. From the very beginning, like before the ambassadors program was established, I was already like advocating for she codes because I found it really amazing.
Mm.
And then he told me, oh, I'm planning to do this, I think it would be great. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So I think he's still, his company is very young, he's still thinking about what else to add to it. For now, they're not planning to add any more like workshops, but he's still trying to find ways to expand it. Like his goal is to teach 100,000 women how to code. Right now they're like at over 75K, which is great.
Whoa.
And they started with like it was in-person classes in Lisbon in Portugal. It wasn't like online at all. So it was all in person at the time.
No way.
Yeah, that's how he started it. And now it became online, and now it's, now everybody can join. But it's a very young company. And so I love their mission. They also have the She Codes Foundation that teaches women in developing countries how to code for free. So they can apply and then they can just get access to all of the workshops for free as well. So I just,
Wow.
yeah, I love what they're doing. And I didn't know that they were a huge community because like I started my Instagram account and at the time they had 40K. I mean, they were still pretty big, but they've been growing a lot since then. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a wow. That's such a wow. I'm actually baffled because I didn't know that much about she codes in that sense.
Yeah, they're great. And most of my friends, the majority of the people that I know, they're all from She Codes. Millie, Adina, Asifa, all these people, all these girls that I'm constantly in contact with. I feel like they're friends that I would love to meet in real life. And it's all thanks to She Codes. Like we were saying that we would love to go to Portugal to go to see Matt and everybody behind She Codes in person. And so we're trying to organize that to see maybe like
That
four.
is huge. You
Yeah,
should do that. Oh my goodness.
no, we're so excited. We really, really want to. So maybe sometime next year we would love to do it.
Wow, that is so cool. That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I loved she codes for the fact that they were, I'm pretty sure it's exclusive only to women, right?
Anybody that identifies as women, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just kidding. But actually I do have friends that do, all respect. But
Yeah.
like no, so I remember when I saw that you had like the workshop and everything with she codes, I went to their Instagram, saw the community was super nice. Everyone was super nice. Like I even commented, I was like, hey, like, can I get help on this? And they're like, 100%. And so that's what amazed me, like just how caring and considerate the community is. But not even just like she codes, like Millie's also super nice, such a great person. I'm blanking on everybody else because I know two other people from she codes and I'm missing them. So I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, that's okay. I know Millie is huge. Millie is also somebody that I'm very impressed by. To be honest, she's like we're in contact with her a lot, and like Adina, other girls from She Codes, we're all kind of like talking to each other.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing to see Millie. She's the one who tells me that consistency is the key for her to have grown. Like if you see, she grew like crazy. Like she's like
Mm,
60K now. So she's the one who always says consistency. So I'm always like, okay. But like I said, I can't do it. Like everybody has a different lifestyle. So yeah, I cannot do the consistency like she does, but she's just incredible. And she also started with She Cooks as well. And she's so talented. So I'm always very impressed by her. And there's other two girls, Adina, I don't know if you know her, and Asifa, they're also from She Cooks, but they're also great. They also have a social media presence as well. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
So would you recommend she codes to any women out there that
Everybody, oh my gosh, I recommend it to everybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. There is like a 9-year-old in She Codes, and there's people over 50 years old doing She Codes as well.
wow.
Anybody can learn to code. And I'm kind of jealous of younger generations now because I'm seeing coding as part of their curriculum now. And I'm like, I wish in school maybe I would have had coding as well. That would have been cool. So anyways, but yeah, no, it's never too late to learn, and I recommend it to everybody. I think, why not? Because you may love it. I mean, you
Right.
love it, you may change careers because of it, so you never know until you try it. And I think everybody should, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Coding is it's ironic because I went to a school called it was like the school name and then it said of technology.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's supposed to be a tech school, right? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a tech school.
Okay.
It wasn't. The only tech thing about it was that we had an Apple ecosystem license. So
Oh,
like all the students had like their student iPads,
oh,
and like
cool.
we used that for notes. Like it was very cool growing up because like I grew up without an iPhone and Android. Like I didn't have one until I was like 13, I think.
Yeah,
And now there's coding classes. When I graduated, no coding classes.
yeah.
After, everybody in elementary school is like having coding classes. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Wish I could have done that.
I know, me too. I wish I could have learned earlier. So yeah, I'm happy for younger generations. And coding and everything in tech is the future now in general. So I feel like it
Yeah.
makes sense to stop learning about mitochondria and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. I agree. I definitely think like it's beautiful. I like my school, we had the liberty to choose like what you wanted to specifically, I don't want to say major in, but like focus in on. So we had like different tracks. We had like the law school track, engineering track, medical track, etc. And I chose a medical track. Some people chose like the engineering track. So like I just wish the schools implemented that kind of system more so that people could like have more freedom as opposed to you have to learn history. Why? Like I can just Google the history. I don't have to know it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter to me. Like
Yeah, yeah, it's true. They should teach us more practical stuff, things that we are actually gonna need. Like not even
taxes.
that, exactly. I was literally about to say that. How to invest your money, taxes, how to buy a house, whatever, like things that are gonna be actually useful. But
No, instead they teach you cursive.
yeah, yeah.
Which I mean it's pretty. Don't get me wrong, but take a calligraphy class, not a I just feel like it's weird that you have to take a calligraphy class in school, but if you want to learn like finances, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, that is
Like,
crazy.
or listen to a YouTuber about it. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like, that doesn't make sense to me? And I'm only 19 years old. Like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but man, it's kind of a waste of my time.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah.
So you said you grew up in many different areas, in many different countries. So are you multilingual? Do you know lots of languages?
No, you know what? When I lived in Egypt and Saudi Arabia, I should have learned Arabic, but I didn't. I was just not my mindset. I don't know where I was. I was like in a different planet. Obviously, I didn't think about it then. My parents were like, "You should learn." I was like, "I don't want to." So yeah, I didn't. So for work, we like in Canada, the two official languages are French and English, and so for
Hmm.
work, I know both. So I speak French and English and then Spanish. And yeah, that's it. And I'm learning Portuguese. I love Portuguese, always have some learning Portuguese on the side as
Oh,
well.
that's awesome. Where are you
Yeah.
learning Portuguese with or in?
Just on Duolingo and by myself, like nothing serious, just Duolingo and watching shows in Portuguese. And there's this one telenovela from Brazil that I just absolutely love. And my dream is to be able to just watch it in Portuguese. And so this is why I'm also learning Portuguese.
What
So
is it? What's it called?
it's called El Clon or O Clon. But yeah, it's just amazing. I love it.
Ekron.
El Clon. Yeah.
Oh, Ekron. Okay, okay. I'll definitely look into it because I want to learn Portuguese as well. I think it's a very beautiful language.
I think so too. Some people love to criticize it and say that it just sounds weird or whatever, but I love the way it sounds. I don't know why. It's
When I
just
when I was younger, I used to criticize it because when I was younger, I didn't even like learning. I didn't like English. I still don't like English, but I also didn't like Spanish. I was like, these languages are so confusing.
yeah.
And I grew up watching a lot of Japanese shows, like Japanese media, because my dad was big into like martial arts and everything. So I grew up like learning a bits of Japanese. Like, wow, like this language makes so much sense, but I just don't know how to speak it. So now that I'm older, I tried learning Japanese. I saw it's not that useful, so like I stopped. Like I'll use it whenever I can. But Portuguese, when I was
Yeah.
younger, I used to call it like the lazy Spanish.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard it that way before.
And I feel bad saying like I feel bad that when I was younger, I used to have that. But now that I'm older, I'm like, no, like it's like the French of Spanish, which is like weird to say. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like the French of Spanish. Where like French is like, oh my gosh, like everybody says it's the hottest language. It's so attractive. And like it's the same for Portuguese.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's like that. When people say that French is this and that, I don't see it, and maybe it's because I speak it already or something. I don't know. But
Mm.
Portuguese is just, oh, I love it. I love the way it sounds, and so yeah, I'm trying to learn it, and I would love to. That way, like if we do go to Portugal next year, maybe I can speak a
Oh,
little.
that's right. Oh my goodness. What a
Yeah,
connection. Imagine. You should let everybody else know. Be like, hey guys, we gotta learn Portuguese together.
yeah, that would be cool.
But you technically know four languages if you count JavaScript as a language.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess
You
so.
know, do you
Yeah.
have you tried other languages aside from JavaScript or like dabbled?
No, not at all. I haven't had time really. I'm trying to, the thing is, I do want to do many things, but I'm trying to really learn JavaScript well enough because I know if I skip on the foundations of things, then I'm never really going to learn anything well. So
Right.
sticking to JavaScript, then I'll continue to focus on React and then we'll see. But yeah, no, I haven't even had time. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely very time consuming. I remember in the beginning you said that you were only doing like 30 minutes, which I still think is a lot considering like everything you have to do.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of time. You can do a lot in 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm still doing the workshop. So 30 minutes is enough to maybe advance with half of the lesson. And then I think you really need at least minimum 1 hour a day to really like finish a whole lesson with she codes. So I'm
Mm,
basically just putting my time. But yeah, when I can, I do 1 hour, but if not, minimum 30 minutes to continue to progress little by little, at least.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I didn't expect to be time consuming because I always, whenever I grew up, I picked up things like very fast. And I
Yeah.
picked up like HTML, CSS, all the frameworks pretty fast.
Yeah.
Job like actual programming, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta dedicate a significant amount of time.
Yeah, HTML and CSS though. I mean, it's not like I know everything about CSS, but I find it so fun. I wish there was like just a good paying job where you just need to know HTML and CSS.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's easy. I mean, there's actually, you can do a lot of crazy things with CSS, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, so it's still not that easy, but I mean, it's easier than everything else I've learned so far.
It's like you don't expect it either because whenever you hear JavaScript or any programming language, you're like, oh, I can do so much of that. But CSS by itself, it's insane.
Yeah,
It's insane.
I've seen like these like graphics or designs or whatever made solely with CSS. I was shocked. I was like, really? How is that possible? I didn't know you could do that. Like actually draw like stuff with CSS.
Oh yeah, like actual art and everything.
Yeah, yeah, like actual art.
It's insane. There's have you I don't know if you've seen this, because I'm pretty sure it's on Instagram, but there was this lady who she's like famous in the dev community, I think.
Yeah.
She like does Baroque art
Okay.
using CSS only, like goth art. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like very realistic, like
Yeah.
lighting on point. I'm like, how do you
Exactly. That's crazy. Using just CSS, I'm just shocked. I'm like, how? Wow.
like it? I'm
It-
amazed.
I'm amazed, but in a way, I find that like doing it the hard way though, like because there are other ways that you can do that. I don't know, actually, I don't know, but doing it with CSS, I find, wow, that must be so time consuming to do something so detailed with CSS. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like it already takes like a significant amount of time to make a website, using all the different components, especially CSS. But like just to make art with CSS, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like it's actually making me tired just thinking about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
truthfully. Have I don't know how it is with sheet codes, but have you guys tried like different frameworks for like Bootstrap, Tailwind?
Oh yeah, Bootstrap for sure. We haven't done Tailwind, but yeah, they did teach us about Bootstrap, which I really love. I'm intrigued by Tailwind though, because I see that you can do a lot of stuff with it too. But I also love Bootstrap. There's so much to learn, but it's crazy what you can do. You basically don't need to use CSS if you use Bootstrap in general. It's such a shortcut
Yeah.
to create
Like
any.
it's and you don't
Yeah.
have to use JavaScript either.
Oh, Like, what do you mean?
Like whenever they're like for example like the navigation bars where it goes from like having
Oh,
the
you're right.
words
Yes,
and
yes,
then it
yeah,
goes to the little hamburger icon,
yeah,
like
exactly. It's so true. Yeah, I love it. Hmm.
especially like for those, like this is like for the people who are starting out with HTML CSS. If you know Bootstrap, you can get some nice high paying jobs.
Yeah,
You
and the
can.
documentation is all there, so it's pretty easy. You just go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's so many YouTube videos.
true. Yeah.
I see over there in the corner you have like your little ring light. Do you use that for filming?
I do use it. It's because like the lighting is terrible sometimes, especially during the winter. So I got it, and it's amazing. It works so well. It's yeah. When I had like a Instagram live with with Emily and other people the other day, and I used it. I was like, yes, it's great.
That's awesome. I was thinking about getting one, but I just have like this little like desk lamp that's on my desk. I'm like, oh, I'll stick with it.
Yeah, no, it's been great, but and maybe you have better lighting than me. I see. So thank you.
Well, yeah, I don't have any. This sounds weird, but I don't have any windows in this office.
Oh, really? I would think that you were facing like a window.
No, it's literally just my desk lamp.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's
you can just like turn it off and then become like black. But no,
oh,
in my other room, we actually have like big windows and stuff like that. And we use that sometimes for like photos for like natural light.
okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So with you wanting to be a diplomat, is that like your end goal? Like end goal is to become a diplomat?
That's still my end goal. So yeah, I don't know. Like it's sometimes I do want to maybe get a job in tech. I mean, sometimes I think about that as well, but I think maybe I'll stick to being a diplomat. I don't know though. I still have a long way to go. So
Yeah, yeah. How
yeah.
is that? How is that path? Like, what is the path you have to take to become a diplomat?
It's really all about applying. So I'm already in the department for it. So that's already a big step. But the application is very competitive. You have to go through all these exams and they're not easy. And my dad told me that he passed them on the second try. So I'm kind of just studying on the side, getting ready for it and seeing maybe next year because I missed it this year. It already went by, like the application. So I missed it. So I'm gonna try for next year, and it's just about studying. It's kind of like a more difficult SAT, I would say. We don't have the SATs in Canada, but I would say
Oh,
it's
I
some.
didn't know that.
Yeah, we don't have it. We don't really need it. So even though when I was living abroad, I went to American international schools, so I still had to do it, but I didn't need it to get into admitted into university here in Canada.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So the exam for it is a little bit like the SAT, but harder. And there's also like some other questions that are a little bit more difficult, like more abstract stuff, like situational questions that
Mm.
you answer. And yeah, they just want to see like if you would be good for living abroad, if you would adjust to the religion, wherever it is, like how you are, adaptability, all that stuff. So they put you in different scenarios. But I think there's also some math questions, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of because math is not my strength at all. So
No?
no, not at all. And actually, I was kind of happy that to become a front end developer, I don't think it doesn't seem like I need to know any math. So I'm very thankful about that because, like, otherwise, I know if you want to pursue a degree in computer science, I think you do need to know
Oh
some.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
that that sounds a little scary,
I'm
but
not I'm not a major in computer science. I'm actually a major in digital marketing, but I have friends in comp sci or engineering, and
yeah,
the math that they gotta know, it doesn't even look like English or math to me. It just looks like,
gibberish. Okay.
yeah, I don't get it. And I'm a big math geek. Like I love math.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we just got done cleaning around the house and we saw that I had like 18 notebooks of just like calculus.
No way.
Yeah, like it was just like full on 18 notebooks of calculus. Not even stuff for like school or homework. It was just because like I actually do enjoy calculus. So I would just like do questions.
Wow. I mean, that's amazing. I wish I liked it that much.
Yeah, I used to hate math, but then one of my professors was like, "No, like it's because you're not good at it. You'll get better at it." And I did get better at it, and I loved it. And it's just like for me, like with coding, it's very similar to like Legos, just without the manual.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
like you just take these little bits and like you take these like little pieces of code or like these little Lego pieces, and then you build something with it. And then you can take pieces of that and then you can break it apart and make something else with it. So that's why I really fell in love with coding. Um, and with math, it's very similar. Like you're just looking for the solution to a problem. Same thing with coding. For you, like what was it that made you fall in love with coding? Or if you're even in love with coding, maybe you hate coding.
No, I really like it. What I like about it is that, well, maybe my answer is a little bit more simple. It's just that I didn't know what it actually took to make a website. I don't think people appreciate what it actually takes. I think people who don't know anything about coding, they just look at websites. I don't know what they think. But like when I tell my parents or whomever, oh look, this is what I did, they don't appreciate it. They don't really understand what it took to get there. So they're
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. But I'm like, okay, you don't understand. So what I like is that it actually involves a lot of work. And I don't know. I like that. And I don't know. I think you're much younger than me, in my opinion. So I don't think you ever probably had MySpace, right?
I actually, okay, so I did have MySpace, but never did I ever use it. I only got MySpace because my friends told me that you could learn how to code with it when I was younger.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Tried it, hated coding. I like written off coding for the rest of my life. I was like, I'll never get into it.
Yeah.
Irony hits. I do it on I do it for a living.
Yeah. That's so funny because yeah, so when I had MySpace long time ago, it's crazy to me that I was basically using some CSS and HTML there and I had no
Hmm.
idea what I was doing. I was just doing stuff and I didn't know that was kind of coding, I guess. But yeah, so that's what I like about it is that I don't know that it actually takes work. I don't know. I don't have a really good answer for that, but I do enjoy it. I love it. I love being able to take something that doesn't exist into existence, you know?
Oh,
So
that's awesome. I really like how you put that. Take something that doesn't exist and put it into existence.
yeah, it
That's
just is.
nice.
Yeah. So
There's have you seen people like that are in game development?
I follow a few people, but I don't know much about it.
So there's actually a very famous game developer, social media influencer, if you will, that lives in Canada. Her name is Gazi.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'll send you her profile because you'll like her stuff. It's very retro futurism.
Oh,
But
okay. Cool.
but like she talked about how like being able to create something that doesn't exist and putting it into existence, she sees a possibility of having like a god complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, have you ever, I don't know if it's a little bit different from websites to game development, but have you ever experienced that with a website? You're like, oh yeah, I'm better than Steve Jobs.
No, I would love to say I have, but I haven't yet. I haven't yet. I would love to feel like that one day. I still feel like I have a long way to go. So I'm proud of what I've done so far, but I'm sure I can do more stuff. And yeah, so not yet there. Not there yet.
Okay. Yeah, everyone will get there at some point. You'll make it and you're like, oh my goodness. I am the creator of all things. For me, it was whenever I made Hello World.
It's true. It's true that sometimes when I'm like doing things on the terminal, I do feel like, wow, this is cool. But in reality, it's not like you see it on the movies. When people are like, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
They're
I
like,
always,
I have to hack it to the mainframe, and they're like doing these
yes,
little things.
they're
I'm
like,
like,
yeah, yeah,
uh, okay.
yeah.
Whenever you tell people that, like, have you told people that you code and that you're an influencer for coding, or?
Some of my friends know. I don't go out telling people. Yeah, but some of my friends know, and they just like, well, they're just like, wow, like it looks complicated. Is it complicated? Like the whole coding thing, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you should try it out, because I think everybody thinks it's complicated until you try it out. And yes, it's not easy, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. I mean, if I
No, no.
you know what I mean? Like I see like people who are over 50 years old learning to code and making a website. So I'm like, I think you just need to try it out. And then, because at first when you just see all this stuff that you don't understand, I think it just seems complicated. But then once you do it, you realize what it means. And so it's just not that hard.
Yeah, oh, 100%. Because like coding already sounds pretty overwhelming. There's so many different areas. But when it comes like to
Yeah.
websites, bare minimum, you just gotta know HTML and CSS. And with that, it's very easy documentation. Very easy.
Exactly. I think that is a good point that you're saying. I mean, it depends what you want to do. If you want to become a front-end developer or a web developer, I think, okay, maybe that's fine. If you want to get into backend, I don't know, because that seems to be a little bit more difficult. But and I know Python is also very big. A lot of people are learning Python. It also intrigues me, but I don't have the time for it. But
Same. I do want to learn Python.
yeah, everybody's talking about Python, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to learn it. And people are telling me that it's an easy thing to pick up. So I'm not sure, but
Weirdly enough, like after doing a lot of with JavaScript, I can look at Python because I actually the people that are in comp sci for the most part they use Python, at least like in my area. And I'll read their code. I'm like, is this what it does? And they're like, yes, but you're missing like this little piece or like this big piece. I'm like, oh, okay. So like it's kind of easy to transition to, I would say.
yes, that's what I was saying. I was thinking that like once you know at least JavaScript, I think that you can look at anything else. You can still kind of get the context of what's going on in general. Because like I was looking at, so my husband actually, he's actually also learning to code. He's already he's a QA engineer now, but he was doing something. Yeah, so he started as a mechanical engineer. He was like in the construction world. He didn't love it, and then last year he decided to learn to code as well. He's doing this boot camp, and then he was working for Shopify, and now he's like, I really want to become a software developer. So that's what he's doing now.
Oh wow,
Anyway,
good for him.
yeah. But I was helping him a little bit on the front end of this Flask app that he was doing.
Oh, you made a post about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I was helping him a little bit with that, and he was using Jinja and Python, and I was like, wow, like I don't really know what's going on, but I would read it, and I was like, okay, I kind of understand more or less what's going on, just because I already know a little bit of JavaScript, a little bit of whatever it is. I feel like once you know something, you can gauge the context of pretty much anything. So
Yeah, they say that because I really like for programming languages, I only know because I actually started coding with Python. So I know like little of it, very little of it.
okay, cool.
But like JavaScript, I know that. But they say that when it comes to like when you learn like one programming language, you can go into any other programming language. And it's like not too seamless, but it's a little bit easier because you already
Yeah.
know the basics, you know the foundations.
Yeah, exactly. And they say that about languages in general, like spoken languages. I don't know if it's true, but they say that if you already know 2, 3 languages, that supposedly is easier to pick up another language. I don't know, but
Yeah. Especially if it's like for Spanish, you go to like French or you go to like another Latin based language. It's like
yeah, it's true.
supposedly.
It's true that Portuguese resembles Spanish a little bit, right? So to some extent.
Yeah. That's why it's sometimes called lazy Spanish.
Yeah.
Which is not. I have, especially here in Florida, we have such a big Brazilian community. So like I hate saying that, but
Yeah. I was shocked, but there's a gigantic community, like deaf community from Brazil, huh? It's crazy.
yeah, there is a lot of people that are Brazilian, especially in Florida. I'm actually Venezuelan and Colombian. So whenever you
Yeah.
go down to Miami, it's actually called Dorazuela or something like that. Like there's like a city in Miami called Doral.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like there's so many Venezuelans over there, so they call it like Dorazuela. Is there like a big community of like Ecuadorians in Canada or
No, not at all, actually. I'm always shocked if I see another Ecuadorian. Yeah,
yeah?
no, no.
What about like Hispanics? Like are there a lot of
Mm, no, and I'm not, you know what? The thing is, I left Ecuador when I was 9 years old, and I haven't really gone back much, except I'm going back this summer to see my grandmother. Um, but for some reason, I don't even feel very Latina. I don't know. Like, yes, I'm
mm,
Spanish and I have my accent a little bit, but I do not connect with a lot of, like, I don't know what it is. It's just I have never really, yeah, most of my friends are not Hispanic. And it's kind of funny. Most of my friends growing up are Korean, actually. So,
oh really?
yeah, super random. But my friends in high school were Korean. And so, yeah, just And here, no, I don't have a big community, and I should go to church more often, but I don't. And I know maybe if I were to go to church, maybe I would find them there. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like growing up, I grew up learning English as my first language.
Yeah.
So whenever it was time for me to learn Spanish more, I didn't want to. I was like 8 years old. Because
Oh,
I just didn't see myself as a Hispanic. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, I'm brown.
Yeah.
Like I can dance, I know how to cook like Hispanic foods, but like I'm not Hispanic. Like I speak better English than I do speak my Spanish.
Yeah.
And then I would learn Spanish because I was forced to, but I'm so glad I did.
Yeah, me too.
And like I consider myself Latino. Like I was born in Venezuela, but a lot of my mannerisms and a lot of like how I speak, even in Spanish, is very, as they say, gringo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gringo. Like I went to Colombia, my entire family's over there, so they're just like, oh, el gringo llegó, which means like the gringo arrived. I'm like, yeah, he is here, and I'm like, okay, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
For me, as long as I'm able to communicate with another community, that I'm like, I'm happy with it.
Same. Yeah, exactly. I'm grateful that I still have my Spanish. So it does help. I think when we're young, sometimes we don't appreciate it. And then when we're older, we're like, okay, great. It's good to know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing that a lot because like when I was young, I didn't really want to learn. Like I loved Hispanic music, but I didn't want to learn it. Didn't want to sing it. Now that
Yeah.
I'm older, I'm like, Mom, let's sing like some Hispanic songs, or let's dance or whatever now. Or like with my family, like I'll call them up, be like, hey guys, like let's all get together and like just play some Spanish music.
Yeah.
And now like because I had a part-time job, or have a part-time job, sorry. And I'll speak to people that are Hispanic in Spanish, and I appreciate that more so than I do in English.
Mm.
So I was just like, okay, like that's cool. I like that. I like that I like Spanish more. Do you
Yeah.
have like a preferred language, like out of the three that you know, or?
I think I really like English because it's just so simple. I don't know, in comparison to French. French is so hard. I mean, I use it for work. I'm like advanced, I would say, level advanced. Like I wouldn't say I'm like completely 100% fluent, but I'm good enough to like work and communicate with my family on my dad's side who only speaks French.
Oh,
And
no way.
I'm also adopted, by the way. So that's also
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was actually adopted when I was 9 years old, and that's how I left Ecuador. So my dad met my mom at the Canadian embassy in Ecuador, and then because my dad is French Canadian, and then he adopted me. So when I came to Canada, I only knew Spanish, and so I had to learn French and English, and
Oh, wow.
yeah. So that's why, like, sometimes people are shocked. They're like, "You don't know French? Your dad is French Canadian." But then I have to say, "Okay, it's because of this," you know. So, but yeah, I really love English because it's just so easy and to the point.
Mm,
But I like that sometimes there are certain words in Spanish or French. They're like it, the Spanish and French language. They're so much more, I don't know, richer in the sense that you can use one word to describe a complex situation. I
yeah.
don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's like in Japanese, you know how there's like this one word that describes like something, like I forgot, like
It's called kanji. So kanji is like it's like it's more symbolistic.
yeah, symbolistic. That's
Yeah.
right. I like that sometimes in French there's one word that like really can describe something like that, like you said. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you because speaking like as I got older and you started to pick up on like on more adult jokes and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, I realized like in Spanish, like, whoa, like we have like a whole artillery of some amazing, pretty witty jokes, but in English, like you can't translate them the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I think I kind of like Spanish a little bit more. Because as simple as English is, and as complicated as it can get, which it reminds me of, like JavaScript, but like Spanish, there is like that richness behind it where there's like passion behind it, but there's also
Yes.
like
Mhm.
over like a wide range with it.
Yes, exactly. The poems are just so beautiful. Like sometimes I read Spanish poems sometimes for fun, and I'm just like, wow, like they really describe everything so nicely.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I like about it. But I prefer English, and I dream in English now. There was a point in my life where my dreams were in Spanish, and then one day I was just dreaming in English, and I'm like, wow. So I guess that's the language that dominates now my brain, I
Oh,
guess.
that's awesome. Well, I didn't even know that because I've only ever dreamt in English, but I think in English and Spanish.
And okay,
Do you like, is that the same for you? Like, do you think in English and Spanish or what?
no, I just think in English. The only thing that I sometimes, whenever I'm counting, somehow I revert to Spanish. I don't know, like to count things, one of those things. I don't know why, but that's literally the only thing. Like when I'm counting money or something, sometimes I don't know why I'm saying it in Spanish, but aside from that, it's always been English now. So
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah.
awesome. What? That's so
Oh,
cool. Because like my sister, she was born in Venezuela just like me, but she's older than me. So she was in Venezuela for like 7 years before we moved to Florida.
yeah.
And whenever we got here, she was like around your age. She was like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And so for her, she grew up learning English. She doesn't have an accent, but she does like think just as you, like she kind of like left Spanish in a sense where like now she only thinks in English. She talks English. She can still speak in Spanish
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
better than I can. So it's just that's awesome that like there's like a similarity behind it. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's just crazy how one day it's just like, wow, I don't even dream in Spanish anymore. So it's kind of funny.
So is your mom Spanish or
Yeah, so my mom is from Ecuador and she was
right?
born there. And then she was working at the Canadian embassy in Ecuador, and then she met my dad through the embassy.
That's awesome. I just didn't know if she was like stationed there from like the Canadian embassy, like she had to move over
Oh
there.
yeah, no, she's from Ecuador, yeah.
That's
But then,
awesome.
but she's not even my biological mom, so I'm still like adopted. Still, like it's like my mom was born in Ecuador and she's Ecuadorian, but she's not my biological mom either. So
Oh, okay. Have you met like your biological parents or
that's like a story for like a huge book because it's just so complicated. But yes, I do know them. Well, unfortunately my biological mother passed away,
I'm
but
sorry to hear that.
well, yeah, that's okay, thank you. But yes, I did meet her, and I actually have two biological sisters as well in Ecuador, and
Oh
like
wow.
Spanish, and it's a complete different world. So it's just it could get into it, but it's so complicated in my brain. Like if you knew,
I
like
get you.
just to tell you though, my mom, my biological, well, my no, my mom used to be my sister. Like just to tell you how complicated it is. Like I used to call her ñaña, which is like sister.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, when she adopted me, she became my mother figure, and it was just so weird for my brain to call her from ñaña to mami or mama or whatever. I was like, and then when my dad adopted me and I was 9, it was just so hard to all of a sudden see this person and start calling them dad. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Oh, I can't even imagine. Like
yeah.
sister gone to mom, gone to this is my sister married to my dad. I mean, my mom married to my dad. Like I
And then my
oh, like
mom, who used to be my mother figure, is my grandma. So I used to call my grandma mommy. And even today, when I call her to say hi, I still call her mommy because it's just so weird for me to be like, I don't know anything else. So it's just like huge.
oh wow. Are
Yeah.
you said that's like for like a whole book. Are you into writing or
Honestly, like sometimes I think about my life story and I think maybe I should make it into a book. I'm just kidding though. Like I don't, I would love to, maybe I should. I don't know. It's just so complicated that maybe it would be interesting to share like how my whole adoption was and all of that. So yeah.
you should if you like to at some point you definitely should. I think so, and you'll see this whenever the episodes come out. The first one will come out on June 1st. The one that I'm referring to. Um, we had a special guest on there, and he said that like life is like just to summarize, life is like way too short. Like you only have one life, so like if you want to do something, do your best to do it. Unless if you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. But like just try
Yeah.
it out. And it was such a beautiful message because it wasn't even someone that was like older. It was someone that was like the same age as me.
Yeah.
And like I had the same mindset, but I'm a little bit I have like what I would consider as like a realistic growth mindset where I'm like, cool, like I can dream big, but I have to like figure out the steps to get there first.
Mhm.
And with him, it was like similar, but it was more so like less about the steps, more so I'm just gonna jump and just see if I can get on a step. So like if you want to, I'm all for it. I will support as much as I can.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
one day if I have time, I would love to. Maybe. Yeah. No, honestly, I think sometimes I like to tell people my story, but it's so long and complicated. And when I think about it, I'm like, wow, I could maybe really write a book about it. It may be interesting. So
Yeah, you should. I think there's so many things I like that's the main reason why I made this podcast. Because I like when I first made my podcast, we were talking to before we started recording the first part of this episode. I
yeah,
had this whole podcast called Daily Highlight. It's because I wanted to share with everybody about like what I learned about my books.
yeah,
I didn't care about it like for it to be long term, but for this, like just being able to talk to friends that I make on social media and like get to know them more, and on top of that, like show the path that they take and the steps that they're going to take. It's just super interesting to me. I'm such a big people's person, so I was like, let me just try the podcast and let's see if it works out.
it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, because nowadays everybody has a podcast, so there's a podcast for everything. So I was like,
It's true. It's big, huh? Yeah, the whole podcast world is big.
I
Yeah.
was like, okay, like we'll try it out.
Yeah.
Like there's podcasts for absolutely every side. There's a podcast literally for knitting. I'm not joking. There's a podcast
For
for knitting.
knitting?
Yep.
No way.
Where
So funny.
we have a grandma at my part-time job. She listens to that podcast.
No way. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
And she also listens to Joe Rogan, which is a big like big
Yeah.
dichotomy, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
it's
funny.
awesome. Do you listen to podcasts or
Um, no, I don't. I don't. Well, I used to. There was this like murder mystery one where you have to solve the
oh
crime.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. I used to, yeah, but now I don't have the time. Oh my gosh, I used to do a lot of things and now yeah, I find that I'm not doing it as much. But yeah, that was the only podcast I used
Oh
to listen.
gosh. I hope you don't get like an existential crisis. Like like oh no. Because
And
like
it's because I really love criminology and I originally started learning criminology. I was planning to get into like the RCMP, which is kind of like the FBI of Canada, I would say.
oh wow.
That was originally my dream. I'm always like all over the place, but originally like I was studying criminology and then I wanted to become a diplomat actually. So yeah, that's what happened. So that's why I like this podcast. And I love watching like, all the, what's it called? Those, YouTube videos about crimes and murder.
Oh my goodness. Have you seen like the BuzzFeed one where it's like I just don't I hate my brain whenever I try to like, oh yeah, we had that thought and it doesn't come up. It's like unsolved
Oh
attention.
yes, I'm sold. Yes, I love that one. Yes.
It's so good. I'm not into true crime like at all. Like it terrifies me, but
Oh really?
unsolved is amazing.
Okay, okay. Yeah. No, I just love having it in the background, even when I'm working. I love watching like just anything related to true crime. And I love this guy. He tells a lot of stories. What's his name? Mr. Ballin, do you know?
I do not know Mr. Bond. Let me look him up.
Okay, I just love the way he narrates stories and like anything related to creepy stuff and not just murders and everything. He talks about everything.
Does he
Just
have like a hat?
yeah, he has a hat and like
Okay.
he's just the best at like storytelling creepy stuff. So yeah,
That's
just
awesome. I'll definitely take a look at it.
he
I'm a,
has such an amazing way of explaining. If you have time, so fun.
oh, I'll definitely do it. Yeah, especially because like whenever I code or like designing or anything or doing paperwork for clients, like I'm always either I have Spotify music or like a podcast or YouTube video playing in the background.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I love having something in the background while I work.
Yeah, like I like people like there was this anime that has like over 1,000 episodes. I got through 75% of it like in a year. And my
Wow.
friends were like, "How did you get through?" I was like, it's all in English too. Like I just
Yeah.
put it in the background, like just watch it." They're like, you must have a lot of free time. Like, actually, I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. I just do a lot of the things at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But talking
Multitask.
about true crime, there's this my mom and I we just watched it. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. It's called The Thing About Pam.
Oh no, I haven't heard it.
You should watch it.
Oh, on
Abs
Netflix or
I think it's on Hulu. I think it's on
oh,
Hulu.
okay, okay, cool. The thing about Pam. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a 6 episode story.
Yeah.
It's about this crazy woman who killed her friend, I think. I think it was her friend. I don't know. I was traumatizing. Killed her friend, and then she like gets away with it.
Okay.
It was just amazing. It was so good. Like the storytelling
Oh,
is comedic, but like everything's very serious at the same time. It was amazing.
oh, cool. Thank you for telling me. I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good. How'd you? Because like everybody that I know that likes true crime is like predominantly a female. Everybody that doesn't like true crime or is scared of true crime is definitely a guy. like
Oh,
like even my mom, she's like, I can't do horror movies, but I can do true crime.
yeah. Yeah.
Can you
Really?
do horror movies?
Yes, I love horror movies too, though.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Like all of them. Well, especially anything to do with The Conjuring. I don't know, like
Oh,
all
I
of
love The Conjuring.
it's like it actually scares me, and that's what I like. Like I always look for something that's actually gonna scare me because I'm not really into like Scream or whatever it is. Like it has to be scary where I'm actually scared.
Yeah, like when it says based on a true story, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is a good one. We'll
Yeah, yeah,
watch it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that one, the show, the thing about Pam is based on a true story.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it was like at the very end, like the show, like all the actual like interviewing videos with the killer, and
Oh, wow. Okay.
like you're just looking at this person, you're like, wow, like this, like you want to know it, but like this person's sick, like sick to the head. It's so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah,
But my goodness, no, I can't do true crime because like with horror movies, I'm like, okay, like that's fiction, that's fiction. Even
yeah,
if it's based on a true story, it's loosely based.
yeah,
True crime, no, no, no. It happened. It
yeah,
can happen. My
yeah,
neighbors are probably psychotic killers. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know the potential.
yeah. It is scary concept. It's true.
Like, how do you sleep at night knowing that you enjoy true crime?
You know what? It's kind of funny, but my husband actually, now that you say that, I think he doesn't, well, no, he likes horror movies too, but he tends to be more scared of, things that probably wouldn't happen, like ghosts and stuff like that. I don't know. I always sleep very well at night. I'm not scared at all. I'm not sure why. I just forget about it. I watch it for entertainment, it's on the background, and then I go to sleep and I don't even think about it. So maybe that's why I just,
Wow, that's I'm so envious.
yeah.
Because I'm the kind of guy, I'm the kind of person that's like over analyzing it because I just want to get deep into it. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Get into the mind of the killer. That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah, this could be anybody. I have now been impressed in the sense that like it got to me. I can now not go to sleep.
Oh no.
Yeah, like after watching the thing about Pam, it was funny. That's why like I'm not terrible with it. But
Yeah.
there's this other show on Hulu that it was like True Crime America or something like that.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's like I don't know how like crime is in Canada, but like in America, it just seems like everyone's just like crazy as heck. So it's just like, okay, like I'm just not gonna talk to anybody. It's cool. Like I'm just talk to the 5 people I know.
Yeah, you never know. To be honest, what I've noticed is that every single, at least on YouTube, every single video I watch is all about what's happening in Australia. It seems like all the serial killers, all the weird people are concentrated in Australia because everything I watch is Australian, like true crime. Like, yes, I watch a lot of American as well, but I just noticed that a lot of the true crime is based on like serial killers or weird people in Australia. And I'm like, what's going on there?
That is
But
awesome. I didn't know Australia was like that. I mean it's already crazy enough that Australia has like the biggest tarantula on this planet.
oh my gosh, I can't believe that people live next to insects that could potentially kill you, apparently. Like you can just
Yeah.
be walking by and they literally could kill you. And I'm just like, how?
Or like you go to the beach and you don't have to just be worried about a shark or a jellyfish. You have to be worried about a tiny little shell that has a stinger that can kill you in 30 seconds. Like it's
Oh
just
my God. Yeah.
okay, cool. Not going to Australia.
Yeah.
No, it's not for me, mate. It's not for me. Um, but okay, so lastly, just like before we wrap it up, what are like what is like the future gonna look like for Andrea Dubuc?
That's so hard to know. I don't know. Um,
Or like what are your actually yeah, you're definitely right. That was just a poorly written question. Um, where would you like to go? Like where would you like to see yourself in the future?
Yeah, I hope that maybe I do end up becoming a diplomat. I would love to live abroad, continue working abroad. That would be cool. But I'm still focusing on my coding and learning to code and see maybe if I can do some freelance, maybe just to try it out, just like
Right.
see if I can actually do something with it. Um, and then I don't, for my social media, I have no idea what I'll do. I'll continue posting, but to be honest, when I think about it, like, will I still have my Instagram in 2 years? I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Well, I am just, will Instagram be the same that it is now? Probably not. Maybe there'll be a new
Yeah.
social media platform and everybody's gonna go there. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's one that somebody, I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's called, it's a new social media that like not everybody knows about it yet, but apparently it's like you post in the moment, like what you're doing. Nothing is edited. It's like really what's going on at that second.
Oh, that's cool. What's it
I
called?
don't, I don't know, be real you, or I don't know, be real. I forgot. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I want to tell you. Oh
No, you're
yeah,
good.
be real app, I think. Is
Be
it?
real.
Yeah, it's called Be Real. It says it's a social media app founded in 2020 by French entrepreneurs. I don't know. So some people were saying you should get on it now because it's gonna like take off and whatever. I don't know, but we'll see.
It might. It might. I definitely think it's interesting because it's now everybody on social media is like, oh, we just want to be famous, and this is just like, oh, like cool, like this is unfiltered, unedited,
Yeah, yeah,
organic.
yeah, organic.
So
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I don't have any, I don't know. I think every day, I don't have like a plan really in general. I kind of live day by day. Maybe it's not the best way to live, but
no, same. I live day by day. A lot of people. I don't know. I don't want to say shame me, but like they just don't agree with it as much. Like I'm just the kind of person that's like, okay, like I have my to do list for today. As long as I do that, I can
yeah,
die happy. Like I'm good.
yeah,
But like as far as like future plans, like I'll plan stuff out, but it's like loose.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're not
Same.
alone. You're not alone in that. I definitely do that. But do you have any advice for anybody that either would like to be in any of the areas that like that you're primarily in, which is like social media, coding, and I would just say like politics or like government?
Yeah, that's hard. I would say, well, when it comes to coding, I've said this before, but I think anybody can learn to code. I think that like you just need to give it a shot. And there's so many ways to learn to code for free. Like there's free code camp, there's YouTube videos. Like you don't even need to pay for anything yet. Like you can first see if you like it, explore it. And if you do, then maybe you can invest some of your money into a boot camp if you haven't gone to school for it. There's so many ways to do it. So it's really just about taking the leap and trying something new. I think a lot of people are maybe like too comfortable. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And I think it's always good to try something new. So that's what I would say for coding. Just try it out because you never know. You may love it. And when it comes to government, well, that's kind of the career path I decided. So it's just something I like to do. But I think anybody can do whatever they want to do, really. I mean, it just well, yeah, I don't have a lot of advice for working in the government. To be honest, like this city, Ottawa, most people here work in the government. It's like the government city because it's the capital of Canada, so it's where we
Oh,
have the
okay.
parliament. Yeah, a lot of people think Toronto is the capital of Canada. I don't know why, but really, it's tiny little Ottawa is the capital, and most of everybody here works in the government. So all of the government departments are here. So that's why I live here. But that's what I would say. And for social media, I have a lot of girls actually asking me. I've had a lot of girls reach out and ask me how to create your Instagram page. And I just told them that, well, I gave them all the advice that I've learned so far. Apparently, if you want to start like your Instagram page, you should at least already have 15 posts of good quality so that if somebody sees your page, they're gonna want to like follow you, because if they just see one post, they may not feel like following you right away. So you should already have like 15 good posts. Focus on reels, unfortunately, because unfortunately that's the way to grow now.
Yeah.
I don't know. and everybody's saying like short form videos. So apparently they should be like between 9 to 15 seconds, because what you want is for people to keep rewatching the video, because that's what's going to trigger the algorithm into thinking that your video is of value. So it's maybe gonna push it to more people. Because the problem is that if you have a really long video and people don't finish it, it's gonna make it seem as if it's not worth pushing it to other people. But if it's only 15 seconds and people are rewatching it, then it's gonna help you. That's what I've heard. I don't know, but that's what I've been doing lately.
We got some pro tips here. Okay, okay.
So yeah, just do it. I don't know. I mean, so a few girls from She Codes actually decided to also document their journey on Instagram, and so they have their accounts. And I've heard that companies really appreciate people having a social media presence. For example, Millie, she told me that because of her social media, she was able to get some job opportunities. And the companies that she works for now, they really like her social media presence. So I was telling other people, maybe you should, why not? Just document your journey, post what you like about coding, and then you never know, maybe that'll help you out as well. So
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your time, Andrea.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. It was
Oh
good.
yeah, no, it's a pleasure.